So, do you really need to sit there and research your thermostat? A lot of people are going to say, no, you just need one. What's going on? My name is Matt, and this is Fogtown Pets, and today I wanted to talk to something I really wish I would have researched a little bit more and how they work, and that's honestly the thermostat. If I would have looked more into this and discovered exactly how these work, it would have saved me a lot of time and money, and I would have been able to get a heat source that I was really happy with at the very beginning. Now, a lot of people that are only keeping onesies, twosies, think of this as a way that you might be able to upgrade and provide a little bit better. There are different types of heat sources as well as different types of thermostats, which, again, I really didn't dig into. I saw the care guide. Hey, that's what they're using. I'm going to use that too, which was really bad, and I shouldn't have done it. I hated it. So, the way that these things work is you have three ways that this thing works: on, off, pulse, and dimming. Now, the on off, think of it just like your standard light switch. You walk into a room, you turn the light, you flip it up, the light comes on, you flip it down, the light goes off. How does this affect your heat source? It affects your heat source because it's either giving full power to that heat source to bring up the temperature, and once it hits that temperature, it's going to cut the power to it. And then, say maybe over 2 minutes, that temperature will drop, and then it'll flip the switch, send more electricity to the heat source to bring that temperature back up. Now, with pulse, think of it like a strobe light. It's trying to maintain that temperature by sending quick pulses of electricity to get that temperature up and keep it at that temperature. So if you're trying to hit 86 degrees, it's going to do everything it can to maintain that. So you're going to have this real quick spike in temperature, then a low spike, then it's going to come back up, and then it'll drop, and then it'll come back up, and it's going to continuously do that. And it's literally somebody sitting there with a light switch going ding 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 ding. Now, with dimming, the difference between dimming and pulse is dimming is continuously sending electricity to that heat source, but it might be a lot, it might be a little. It's constantly adjusting. So it's trying to keep a consistency. There is not, it's, if you think of it as like a graph, instead of having all these spikes, it's going to be more like little ripples. So you can get a little bit above, but and a little bit below, but it's not going to be super drastic. It's going to try and keep it as steady as possible. Think of it as working with the electricity, kind of like a dimming switch does. So you can either turn the dimming switch all the way up and have a super bright room, or you can kind of lower it and bring the lighting down to even being off. And that's what the dimming ability is going to do. So, like if you decide you were going to use a basking bulb as a heat source, you'd probably want a dimming thermostat as opposed to an on-off or a pulse. On-off, you might have a minute of light and 2 minutes of no light, and then a minute of light again. Pulse, you're going to have a strobe light. It's going to be on-off, 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 and I don't know any reptile that's going to end up enjoying that. If you have a ceramic heat emitter, either one of those, it'll work. It's no big deal. If you have an under tank heat mat, it's not going to be that big of a deal. But I prefer dimming. That's what all of my enclosures back there are on. But if you do end up, taking my advice, research and see what's best for you. maybe something like this is perfectly fine. It's not that big of a deal for you. If you want to give your reptile a Cadillac, you can do that too. Again, my name is Matt. This is Fogtown Pets. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.